Welcome back to Pace Rewind. For our Coach's Corner segment, we're sitting down with the new head coach of Pace University football, Andy Rondeau. Andy, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Well, we had described you in our first segment as a guy who is high energy and a guy who has a lot of goals and a lot of expectations for this Pace University football program. What can you tell us about some of those items?
Well, I think those are the priorities. You got it right there. If we can approach this thing with high energy and expect to approach it with a positive attitude, and that doesn't mean we're nicey nice. That means we're as appropriate, and we're looking for specific factors that can make us get better and better and better every day. And we'd like to focus on those things. We'd like to focus on our effort. We'd like to focus on our competitive nature. We'd like to focus on our leadership. And those are the things that we want to start in the foundations of our program. And we'll find out where we are. I have no idea. So it'll be exciting to get to know that through the course of the next semester and beyond.
Yeah, you mentioned leadership there, and when you had a chance to come in and talk with the staff earlier, you talked about different dimensions of leadership. Can you explain your leadership philosophy, both among the players and among the coaches?
Yeah. Well, we like to talk about 4 levels of leadership, or 4 competitive natures right there. And the first level we'll talk about is a survivor. A level 1 guy is a survivor. And we won't name names in this particular segment right here. That's probably not very fair to those guys out there. But that guy, you know that guy who's just going to stay just out of the range of fire of the coach. He's going to complete his assignment, probably not to the level that he's capable of. Okay, we really want to look to find ways to eliminate and limit the number of survivors that we've got. Every program has those. Every group has those. The next level, a level 2 guy, is a competitor, and somebody we say is externally motivated. Needs coaches up his backside, needs to have sunny day, can have no twinges or muscle issues, matches up with one particular player that makes him go. Things that make him go up and down as a guy on the field, and it's usually based on external factors. And the level 3 guy is the guy who's internally motivated. We call him a true competitor. And the true competitor is the guy who does it all on his own. He's a self-starter. Okay, Peyton Manning is a guy we often refer to as that type of a guy, where he watches extra film, he's going to spend extra time on the field, and he's really going to dot I's and cross T's and do it with excellence. And finally, we like to talk about a dominant. And the dominant guy is a level 3 guy, except the difference here is he's got the ability to bring people up with him, can turn 1s into 2s and 2s into 3s. And we always talk about Ray Lewis as a great example of that. Probably can't have a whole lot of dominant guys, and they're hard to come by too. So if we can find a guy who can do that, well, they carry a long way. And so we look to see those things develop in our guys. And it's not that you're stuck at one particular level, one particular competitive level or another. You have that ability to change. You got that ability to grow, and it'll change day by day based on your actions.
You're somebody who comes in with a reputation as being a defensive coach, defensive coordinator at Holy Cross, defensive coordinator and linebackers coach at Old Dominion. What has your background been in football?
All defense. In college I was affiliated with some offensive positions, but really in college, in 23 years since college, I've always been around the defensive side of the ball. Some special teams too, which I love. I think that's a great component. But defense, it's been in pretty equally split between linebackers and defensive backs, back-end guys.
What is it that makes this job attractive to you?
I think it's a confluence of items, and you look at people often say timing is everything. That's certainly part of it. In real estate, they say location, location, location. And I think when you look at those 2 items and you say, from a standpoint of the tri-state area, what we can leverage from a recruiting standpoint, what we can sell from a community standpoint, the population that's around us that we can get to embrace who we are as a football program when we do it right. The timing of the fact that our model has changed for the way in which that we're going to offer scholarships to players. The master plan that's going to unite 2 campuses and make it Pleasantville as good as it's ever been, and the fact that it doesn't hurt us that football's got a nice little piece of that pie.
As you have started this job, what have your first 10 hours been like? What do you anticipate your first 10 days being like, 10 weeks?
Let me tell you something. That was really nice and good to put up on the presentation. Here's what I'm going to do. Well, you know, theory and practice have separated a little bit here, and it's been a whirlwind. And we go as we can go, and we're trying to, I think we try to make 3 buckets. And we say, this is the most important thing right here. This is the least important. This falls somewhere in between. And right now we've tried to get my paperwork all straight so that I am officially a PACE community member. And I think the next piece after that in that primary bucket ends up being staff. We got to get some guys in here. Want to get some horses in here and get ready to go. And then right after that ends up being our players. The players on our roster. The best recruiting we can do is find out about this group of guys. Where do they fall academically? How ready are they to go for this coming semester? Are they invested in PACE? Are they invested in being a student athlete? And then right following that is recruiting. And that's a lot right there to jam into one front bucket, but there's all kinds of other stuff that comes into that as well.
Well, Andy, thank you so much for the time. I know it's been a very busy day for you, so thank you for taking some of that time to be with us, and best of luck going forward.
Appreciate your time, Coop. See, there it is. Nickname is Coop.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the next 7 days in PACE Athletics. You're watching PACE Rewind.